we're standing here today with something that I never envisaged. Something that started as a seed, as some hampers that were being distributed around the community, Christmas and that sort of thing, from the boot of my car really. And when COVID hit, really something happened, and we sat down together, myself and the community development manager Tommy Coombs, and we sat with Ger Gandy of the Lighthouse that does great work in Pearse Street for the homeless, and we kind of planned a strategy ahead, and we didn't know where it was going to take us, but all of a sudden it kind of exploded, and we really were exposed to so many people's needs, and we knew that we had something big here. And even though other groups were starting up, other words, we were determined to continue this on and to make it into something very special. So as Chairman of Bluebell Community Council, I want to give thanks today for everybody here that has come here, because everybody here is the right amount of people, the right people that are here. And I want to say that you matter and you're here because you care. To thank all the groups and the individuals that have been instrumental in bringing this to this amazing juncture is going to be hard, but I'm not going to spend time doing that in some sense. I want to be brief enough to allow Denise Harris of the Harris Group to say a few words for this kind donation, and to open up to the Lord Mayor, Councillor Hazel Chu, to say a few words and to open to launch the People's Food Bank here today. Bluebell community has some motives in the sense of logos, and one of them is touching people's lives, and we've stood behind that. And another one is together we are stronger. And I think in these difficult times when COVID hit, we realised more than any time we were in difficult times, and we needed to pull together. And they became effective. Touching people's lives, together we are stronger, really came into effect in a real life-changing way. Literally from, as I said, delivering hampers from the boot of my car, it's developed into an amazing resource you see here today. And it is for sure touching people's lives like never before. It is reached out from Bluebell to various communities. A policy or criteria would be that everybody matters. We want to reach anybody that's in need, and we've been able to do that. As far as to say, we've reached the travelling community in Lavery Park, the Roma community in Balbriggan and Drogheda and Dundalk, and the Muslim community on the North Circular Road. Everybody that needs help will be supported by the People's Food Bank. And we are stronger together. There's no doubt about that. And I feel strong today to have such wonderful people around me. And it's the overwhelming support that we've received from so many agencies that were willing to help, created this synergy and unity. And I've never seen that before. I've never seen so many people work together for the common good. I've never seen so many, the battles were over. My corner, this corner, it was over at that time. And I would like to acknowledge that and give thanks for that tremendous support. Firstly, I'd like to say to Bluebell Community Development Project, it's the manager Tommy Coombs, its tireless and relentless efforts have made this dream a reality today. I want to thank Tommy and your amazing workers that are here today, that makes this thing work. You know, we call them about frontline workers, and there's so many different areas of that. But these people put their lives on the line, and we've seen that in the last 7 months. And we're willing to do that because that's what makes us a great city and a great nation. It really does, because we're noted all over the world for our generosity, for our giving, for our reaching out to the poor, and for looking after the homeless. And we're in difficult times, we know that, but we're ready for this. Bluebell was once told, I was told, Bluebell was the forgotten community. And I know there's some residents here today that would know that. The forgotten community, the small little community of 2,000 people between Inchicore and Ballyfermot, that seemed to miss the Celtic tiger. And when I heard that at the time, I said, you know, that's not going to happen anymore. You know, I remember 7 years ago saying, or 6 years ago even now, transformation is coming to Bluebell. And we're seeing that here today. The great support that we've got from Food Cloud, who are not here today because of their own policies and restrictions, during these times has been so amazing. The amounts of food that we've been able to receive, a charge that was cut, a waiver charge, has been great for us today. And we want to say they're a great source of encouragement to people in these times. The Lighthouse on Pearse Street I mentioned, an outreach to the homeless and the disadvantaged in Dublin. I want to thank them for shining the light and showing us the way. And I thank Jared today, who runs such a great service in Pierce Street called the Lighthouse. Tinkle and Addiction Recovery, who have shared their food with us constantly. We just came back from Wicklow yesterday with a van full of food that they received and were willing to share with us at the time. The great support from Dublin South City Partnership that came on board with us, with their CEO, Una. And we want to thank, she's not here today, she stepped down because she wanted other people to be able to come. And they supported other food banks in the community. I'm really grateful for that. Dublin City Council for their continued support in sustaining our community and building a better future for residents. This is tied into a regeneration project that started 3 years ago. And we've got members of Bluebell Community Council here today. Great workers on the ground, councillors, politicians that are given their time to see Bluebell come into a better future for the residents of Bluebell. Too many to thank, but great work going on there with the council. And I'd have to say that in all my times I've never seen such good relationship between the council, Dublin City Council, and the steering group that we have in Bluebell Community Council. And I stand here very proud as the chairman. I notice the Garda Síochána, and I want to say thanks to Martin in Kilmainham Station who has come and helped us in the early days. Before we had this beautiful van, they would bring their own van down and help us with the stock, and they rolled up their sleeves to help us in these times. I want to say thanks to Martin and your colleagues. And look around you at some people that are here, you know, from Dublin City Council, JP, and other people that are here, all involved in this. Everybody involved in this going forward. And this is only the beginning, in my true belief. I think the best is yet to come. So, finally, today and now, I'd like to pay tribute to Denise Harris and the Harris Group, who incidentally I worked for 13 years. And she was approached by one of her member of the church, but also a member of Bluebell Community Council, it's Clifford Sullivan, and whose generosity and love has been unprecedented in giving us this van, and also for working with us in the future to see what we can do for our community. And it's a really generous offer, and we see it here today in this launch. So thanks Denise, thank you, your company, John is here with you, and Clifford for bringing that together. And I would really like at this stage to invite Denise Harris forward before we bring our Lord Mayor forward to say a few words. So could you welcome Denise Harris just to say a few words.
Yes. I'm just going to say a few very brief words on behalf of the Harris Group. I am thrilled to be here today, and I'm actually very humbled listening to what has just been said. I think that COVID has brought a lot of communities together where before it wouldn't have existed. And I am so very proud to be associated with the Bluebell Community Council. They have done sterling work, got very much help. This is something that's very close to my heart going forward. We will try to work, Clifford and myself, bring other business people along the Nace Road forward so that they too can be part of a neighbouring Bluebell. I mean, we are neighbours, and that's what neighbourhood should be about, being there and helping one another. And I also would like to assure Bluebell going forward that we will be there in every possible way to help, and also we will take care of the van going forward and replace it when necessary. Have no worries that you'll be without, you will never be without your van, even after I've long gone up to join Pinner up above, because I will ensure that you will be looked after in the future. So I'm not going to say more about the Lord Mayor to continue. Thank you.
Beautiful words and very encouraging for us going forward in the future. And without further ado, I'm honoured and privileged in this position to hand over to Ard Vera Aclia, Lord Mayor of Dublin, Councillor Hazel Chu. And come forward, Hazel, and thank you so much for this.
Very good. Hi folks, I'm Hazel Chu. I'm the Lord Mayor of Dublin City. I'm not a Bluebell girl myself. I'm delighted to be here. I hail from Furhouse, So, and it's funny when I met Jimmy there, something he said actually almost brought a tear to my eye, because it brought back a memory of mine where when our family was in for a house, we were 9 in a 3-bedroom, and some of the food and some of the clothing was from someone's car. Actually, it was from the local priest's car that he actually did a community run. So again, it's great to see that community spirit going, and it's great to be here today to see that it's a community that actually brings everyone together and supports us in these difficult and challenging times. So I'm delighted to be here for the People's Food Bank on behalf of Bluebell Community Centre, Community Council. I think the Bluebell Community Council has done immense work overall with the overall regeneration and master planning process, but it's down to the volunteers, it's down to everyone here, it's down to supporters like Mrs. Harris there, and it's what we need these days to stay united and to make sure that there's no division and that we pull through the pandemic, but then we keep on building to a future. What I would love to see, to Jimmy's words, is that we won't have forgotten Bluebell in years to come, that Bluebell wouldn't be the forgotten location. It will be thriving, it will be moving forward, but it can only happen with the support of people here. So I'd like to thank everyone here. I'd like to thank the councillors. I know Councillor Hazelden Norton and Councillor Daithí Dunn have been working on the ground throughout the years. I'd like to thank the deputies, Angus Snuddig and Deputy Patrick Toslow, that have been here for the community. But ultimately, I'd like to thank yourselves, the community workers, the volunteers, the Gardaí, without which we wouldn't have this project. I know Jimmy thanked a lot of people, but for me, from first citizen point of view, it's to look at these communities and look at the amazing work done. And I, for one, am very grateful, and I would be in my position supporting anything that needs to be done here. So I have already said to Tommy and Jimmy that if there's anything that I can support, anything that I can do through my office or through my capacity as a councillor, I am more than happy to. So without any further delay, I think we will officially...
All sanitised and cleaned and everything is...
The last time I had a pair of scissors, I almost killed the Minister of Ireland. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it's all been said, and for me to follow up after the Lord Mayor would be right. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Right? I see people in the background, and Hazel has already mentioned them. The real workers stay in the background. A lot of background work being done, and they're really, we're glad to have you here today. Every single one of you, and just looking forward to a real blessed time in the future as we stand together. So thank you everybody for coming, and have a blessed day. See you later.
Yeah.